So today we're going to be talking about how to fix the Ranger for D&D 2024. These fixes can really also be applied to the 2014 Ranger, as well as the changes from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Some of them might be overlapping, some of them might not be, but we're just going to have kind of an open discussion about this. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on how you can beef up your Rangers to make sure that they can keep up with the rest of your party members in 2024. So I hope you enjoy, and we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Wow. All right. So this is streamed live, by the way, so I am gonna, like I said, this is an open discussion video. I hope you guys enjoy this. A little bit of a new format. We're gonna see how it works. So, Rangers. Rangers' primary abilities, right, they're Dex and Wisdom, and they get a D10, so they have a higher hit point total than most other classes. And they get 3 skill proficiencies, weapon proficiencies, armor training, and their starting equipment, right? Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy right there. My only big gripe with the Rangers is that their primary abilities and their saving throw proficiencies are different, and they're one of the few classes that have different primary abilities and saving throw proficiencies. And while I understand why they did this, because you can make strength-based Rangers, and you can make very good strength-based Rangers, I think it leaves something to be desired, because having wisdom saving throw proficiency is really important, while strength and dex can come up. But I don't think they're as crucial as wisdom, so that's just, I don't know. It bothers me a little bit, but it's fine. It's not like a big deal, right? It's whatever. So we're going to read the little Ranger description here, all right, for 2024. We're going to go ahead and read it. Wow. Far from bustling cities, amid the trees of trackless forests and across wide plains, Rangers keep their unending watch in the wilderness. Learn to track their quarry as a predator does, moving stealthily through the wilds and hiding themselves in bush and rubble. Thanks to their connection with nature, Rangers can also cast spells that harness primal powers of the wilderness. A Ranger's talents and magic are honed with deadly focus to protect the world from the ravages of monsters and tyrants. Dude, this description does not have that much flavor. It feels empty and lackluster compared to a lot of the other classes. That's just my hot take. It's fine. It's whatever. It's mid. It's mid. It's super mid. Anyway, we're going to go down here and we're going to look at the Ranger's features. So at level 1, we get a bunch of stuff like most classes. All right. We're going to get spellcasting. Big change from 2014. We get that at level 1 instead of level 2. We're going to get favorite enemy. And we're going to get weapon mastery. One of the things they did very well in this book, in my personal opinion. Number 2, we got Deft Explorer and Fighting Style. 3, the Ranger subclass. 4, an ASI. 5, extra attack. 6, we get the roving feature, which is pretty cool. 7th, a subclass feature. 8th, an ASI. 9, expertise. 10, tireless, which I love this feature. We'll go over it when we get to there. One of my favorite features that they've added. It really helps the Ranger feel different and unique to other classes. 11, subclass feature. 12, ASI. 13, relentless hunter. 14, nature's veil. 15, subclass feature. 16, ASI. 17, precise hunter. 18, feral senses. 19, epic boon. And 20, foe slayer. Probably one of the main reasons that people hate the Ranger in this book. Truly, probably the worst capstone in the game. I think it's the worst, but we'll talk about that a little later on. But this is what we're working with here, all right? So, something that is different in 2024 than 2014. While in 2014, you didn't have to take Hunter's Mark, but it felt necessary. It was a very thematic spell. In 2024, you don't have a choice, and multiple of your features rely on Hunter's Mark. And that's really frustrating because they didn't give Hunter's Mark any way to scale or get better, and it's only a D6, and you have to use your concentration for it. And if you don't use it, you lose out on a bunch of features, even if you have other better concentration spells. So we're definitely going to be dealing with some Hunter's Mark stuff in here. All right. Bippity boppity, alakazammy whammy. But overall, I'm going to be honest. Here's my thoughts as well. 2024 Ranger, far better than 2014 Ranger. It's a huge improvement. I won't lie to you guys. That's my honest opinion. It's a massive improvement. Is it still subpar compared to the other classes, in my opinion? It is. Is it unplayable? Absolutely not. It is much more playable and probably much more enjoyable than in 2014. They added some cool stuff. I think they made some things simpler. However, in doing that, it also feels like they took a lot of flavor from the Ranger. Now, Ranger feels more generic versus like specifically a very natural, like outdoors tracker survivalist kind of class. I feel like they made those features much more generic. Even if they're better mechanically, thematically they're more mid. Anyway, that's my feelings on that. I love the idea of the theme of Ranger, but I think it needs to be better, what's the word? Better enacted? I don't know. It's definitely not emancipated. That's definitely the wrong word. Anyway. First level, we get spell casting now. That's pretty cool. Wow. But the big feature, yeah, I think Rangers are awesome. I love Rangers. But I just think I have some thoughts. So we'll get to my thoughts. We get spellcasting now. You don't get cantrips anymore unless you take that fighting style, but yeah. You didn't get cantrips in 2014 either. So this is the big feature at level 1 that we want to talk about, right? So favorite enemy. You always have Hunter's Mark spell prepared, and you can cast it twice without expending a spell slot, which is great. And you regain all expended uses of this ability when you finish a long rest. Also phenomenal. The number of times you can cast a spell without a spell slot increases when you reach certain Ranger levels, which is fun. We like that a lot. It's not a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. But now that you can cast this without a spell slot, you also have to be more careful when trying to rebalance the spell because you can have so many castings of it if you're a Ranger. So, woo. We love a little challenge. Weapon mastery. This tremendously helps boost the power of Rangers, especially close range Rangers. Anyway. It helps make them a lot more versatile, a lot better, and they can offer a lot more in combat. So I love weapon mastery. It's phenomenal. Deft Explorer. So you get expertise and languages. So basically from level 1, we're not changing anything. All of the level 1 stuff, it's gonna stay the same, all right? Changing nada. Bada bing, bada boom, absolutely zero ricka room. All right. Number 2, Deft Explorer fighting style. All right. All right. We are, see, this is like where my first possible change comes in, or we could wait till level 3. I think we'll wait till level 3. So we're not going to change anything at levels 1 or 2. It's gonna stay the same. It's gonna be hunky-dory right there, all right? All right, so level 3. When we get our subclass, we are also gonna add another feature in here. You can call this feature whatever you want, but what this feature is gonna do is allow you to cast Hunter's Mark, and you don't have to use your bonus action to transfer it anymore, all right? You don't have to use your bonus action to transfer Hunter's Mark anymore. That's the only change we're making. I know, it's pretty small. It's a pretty small change, but that's what we're going to do. Because you're going to be using Hunter's Mark a lot. So it'll help you out. And then at level 4, you get an ASI. Pretty cool. Not changing anything. I know. Extra attack at level 5. We're not gonna change anything here. I know this sounds crazy. I know you guys are like, where are all these changes coming in? I don't get it. There's no change. Hush. Keep watching. Listen. Yeah, Rangers are cool. I've always liked them too, but they've never been my favorite, but they're cool. But a lot of people have issues with them. A lot of people. So, Level 6. You get the roving ability. Your speed increases by 10 feet while you aren't wearing heavy armor. You also have a climb speed and a swim speed equal to your speed. So, at extra attack, when you get roving at 6th level, you also, now, Hunter's Mark will not require concentration. No more concentration for that Hunter's Mark. Hell yeah, that's what I gotta say. That's pretty based. Pretty based. Alright, then you get expertise. Not changing that. It's gonna stay the same. Tireless. This is probably my favorite ranger feature. It's so fun. So primal forces now help fuel you on your journeys, granting you the following benefits. As a magic action, you can give yourself a number of temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier. You could use this action a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Fine, it's pretty mid. However, decrease exhaustion is Ranger's the only class that can do this, and feels so special and unique to them, and it's amazing. I love this feature. Whenever you finish a short rest, your exhaustion level, if any, decreases by 1. It's so simple. It's probably not going to come up that much, but honestly, it's amazing. And so now that we have Relentless Hunter, because at level 6 we already removed concentration for Hunter's Mark, which Relentless Hunter is so dumb. Taking damage can't break your concentration, so that still means you need concentration, so you can't use other spells, which feels like it, defeats the point. So for Relentless Hunter, all we're gonna do is we're gonna make your Hunter's Mark a D10 damage die now, and then we'll get into the changes that I'm making to Hunter's Mark spell after we do the changes to the Ranger. So that the D6 is now gonna be a D10, and that'll be even cooler when I tell you how I would adjust the Hunter's Mark spell. So, yeah. So, Nature's Veil. You invoke spirits of nature to magically hide yourself as a bonus action. You can give yourself the invisible condition until the end of your next turn. It's fine. It's pretty good. It's like a fun feature, right? Alright. You have advantage on attack rolls against the creature currently marked by your Hunter's Mark. That's great. That's fine feature. It's not bad. You'll probably have advantage most of the time anyway by this level, but whatever. Feral Senses. You have blind sight out to 30 feet. Love this feature. Super fun. Very powerful. Epic Boon. Great. Foe Slayer. The worst fucking feature in the whole game. The whole one, because this is your capstone feature. Your level 20. Your level 20 feature. Where Bard can fucking twin cast Power Word Kill or Power Word Heal. You get the damage die of your Hunter's Mark is a D10 rather than a D6. Wow. Wow. So cool. So good. It fucking sucks. It's dumb as shit. That's the worst feature ever. At 20th level, that's your capstone. That's your final feature of saying, I am the best ranger ever. Like, I have reached my penultimate stage as a hunter. And that's what you get? Bruh. So yeah, so we're gonna change that feature. So, right. We're gonna make it a D12. It's gonna go from a D10, because we already changed it to a D10. Alright, to a D12. And on top of that, I think if we're going off of some of the other features that we've got, we can say, we can use the exhaustion thing, and we can say, so whenever you finish a short rest, or a long rest, if you have like an exhaustion level or more than 1, you can decrease it by 2 instead of 1. I think that's pretty cool. Also, also, I think this would be fun. And this is more flavor than anything, but I think that's fine because this is like your flavor capstone. All right. You can track any creature, even if they're using magical means of cloaking. All right. And these are like features I'm pulling out from the old Ranger that were at kind of like lower levels, but I think they're fun just to throw in as this big flavorful capstone. All right. So something you could do too is you can never be lost, even by magical means, right? At 20th level, that makes fucking sense. You're 20th level. You're a ranger. That's what you do. And on top of that, something that you could also do, is that you could give them some sort of like higher level spell that they can use once per day. Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe not control weather, right? Maybe not that, but maybe something like control weather. That's like feels less castery. Just something fun and flavorful and powerful, right? It's already a D10, can't be lost by magical means, can track any creature whatsoever. And let's see, the problem is I feel like Ranger just doesn't have an identity, right? That's my personal opinion. I feel as though Rangers don't have an identity anymore. So, but it's okay. It's fine. It's not fine at all. And let's see. Oh, and here we go. Yeah. And you can add an extra weapon mastery to a weapon you've already mastered. So if you have weapon masteries already, you'll have two weapons that can have 2 weapon masteries on them each. There we go. I think that's a pretty good capstone. It's not the best, but it's better than making your fucking D6 a D10. Right, your D10 that we already switched will go up to a D12, all right? You can never be lost by any sort of magical means, and you can track any creature even if they're being cloaked magically, all right? And then on top of that, you can choose 2 weapons that you've already have weapon mastery over and add any weapon mastery property to those 2 weapons. That's it. I think that's much better. It shows that you are an excellent hunter and you know how to use weapons. Like I said, it's not the best, but I came up with most of that capstone off the top of my head. All right. Not all of it. I definitely had some ideas and I was kind of brainstorming beforehand, but what the fuck? What is this? Anyway, it makes me so upset. So that's kind of how I would fix the Ranger, but based off that, Hunter's Mark, right, which is the other issue of the Ranger, I would have scaling damage for Hunter's Mark because it doesn't. So, and I wouldn't even make it go up by every spell level because I think because it's every melee attack, having it go up by every spell level and getting free castings of it is too much. That's too much. So the free castings you get, right, those would just be first level. Okay. All right. But if you cast this spell with a 3rd level slot or higher, the damage will be at that point 3d6, or when it jumps, it'll be like 3d10. And if you cast this spell with a 5th level slot or higher, then it'll be like 5d10. It'll like jump every 2 spell levels, but or even 4d10 if you want, 4d10 or d12, d6, whatever it is, but just have it so the Hunter's Mark damage is scaling, so it's not crazy. Like, I don't think any of these fixes, in my opinion, are that dramatic. I think they're really just small tweaks to give the Ranger a little bit more damage to just help them feel like they can keep up when they're forced to use, they're not forced, but they're heavily drawn into, almost forced into using a first level spell that's concentration and only does a d6 of damage per attack. Like, it's not, and unless you're like, you know, using the Nick property and light weapons or whatever, you're probably going to be doing 2 attacks most of your lifetime as a ranger, unless you're, you know, doing some power gamer shit like myself. But that's just my take. I don't know. I hope you guys like that. I would personally, if we're really gonna go in here and fix the ranger with, like, kind of rewrite it and rip out the core a bit, I would really just, the flavor is what needs to be hammered home. That is what the ranger suffers from so bad, is having, like, everyone loves the concept, but the actual concept in practice and the flavor of the concept, it's shit. Ranger needs pack tactics, honestly. That's not a terrible idea. It could be overpowered very fast, but maybe like a boiled down version. Anyway, like, that's 2014 Ranger. It had good flavor, but the mechanics weren't there. And now the mechanics are getting better with 2024, but then because the mechanics are getting better, we've lost out on the flavor. So we gotta find that balance. That balance has to be there somewhere, and we gotta fucking find it. But those are my mostly mechanical fixes. They're not the best, but they're pretty simple, and almost anyone can implement them in their game or on D&D Beyond without having to completely redo, you know, the entire class. You can just make like a little feat, and most of those changes you can also make manually in the character sheet. So, yeah. I just wanted something easy that people who feels like their rangers may be lacking a little bit, so that they can keep up a little bit more, and they also don't feel so stuck with Hunter's Mark. So, yeah, but that's probably it. I think we're gonna wrap up the video there. So thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and comment. But I hope to see y'all next time. Bye.